I'm not convinced at all. In fact, I was just thinking that if I were on Oscar Magenya's side, my good friend, Dr. Magenya here, whom I've just gotten to meet today, my position would have been able to say, I would have proposed that, yes, we have very many policies, and he has said it, more than 40 policies. If you ask small-scale farmers to name one of those policies, I don't believe there is a single small-scale farmer who can mention one of them. So I would say the policies exist, but they don't mean anything other than being on paper. But my points, 4 points to quickly respond to the points that he has raised. One, we have delegated the role of delivering agricultural support to counties. I can give only one example. I was in the process of touring a university that was previously funded by government because it was a training center. But today, all the machines that the government has put there, they are all grounded. Why? Because the money used to come from national government on a vote head that funded those machines. Today, the money goes as a basket to the county government, and the governor has got better things to do than fund agriculture. So that delegation is not working. Number two, he says that what you learned from your friend is what government has taught. The answer is no. Government comes there to bash him because of his success. He's told that he's claiming things that are not possible. What he learned, if I had time, I would be able to explain where he got his knowledge because I followed it up. He is appreciated everywhere else except by government officers. Point number three, if we are supporting cooperatives and we are providing coolers and we are providing other things for the county governments, how come 50 years into independence you do not see functional successes in those areas? You know, I think you have to ask yourself, if I'm focused on something, we do evaluations. When I was working, you are evaluated, you succeed, you are given a promotion. In government, we implement a new policy, it doesn't work, we come up with another one. Another policy, we give it to a donor, and the donor comes to give capacity building, and it doesn't work. Same thing, never succeeding, 50 years. Look at Singapore. 50 years on, about the same time as us, they have evolved a country without one river, but they are the largest exporter of ornamental fish. They talk about how to improve our ornamental fish production every single year. Our own governors go on trips to learn on what they call benchmarking. They come and they don't implement. Lastly, coffee. Our production has been on a downward trend from 120,000 tons, metric tons in the 80s to now just around 39,000 metric tons. Maize, we are importing. We are importing maize instead of growing it. Even the experiment in the Galana just turned out to be the biggest joke, the only project that the Israelis have ever supported, and it did not succeed. Why? Corruption, we say. That's what I was told. When you talk about capping score, I don't know whether you know this, most Kenyans take tea instead of coffee, but our coffee is scored in the international market by what is called the capping score. Over the last 15 years, in spite of all the research that is going on, Ruiru 11, Bati, and all those whatever, our capping score has been on a downward trend from 90 capping score in the 80s to now around 86. I export coffee, so I know. I can tell you, we are told, if you give me a capping score of 88, we will come for it all the way to that farm that is producing it. When you look at our production, most of what we are eating is coming from outside the country. Surely, we can't even feed ourselves, and we have policies, and we are funding agriculture. We signed the Maputo Declaration as a country and said that we will honor the 10% commitment, but we don't honor it. Instead, we are giving an excuse. Please allow me to just read this excuse that the government has given as a result of just saying why we are not implementing the Maputo Declaration. The institutional setting in which ASDs operate has changed significantly. The consolidation of national ministries has changed the dynamics of horizontal sector coordination, as most of the consolidated sector ministries now perform several of the 10 sector functions by ASDs. Therefore, we have given that job to others. That's our government.
Maybe, Harun, for purposes of our viewers' understanding, maybe just shed what were the objectives of the Maputo?
The Maputo Declaration was to, first of all, allocate about 10% of the government's budget towards agriculture in order to promote value addition, direct markets, increased production, all of that. Nothing like that happened as a result. We signed it, we changed it, we multiplied it into other things, and we gave an excuse for it.